Our supply chain is off to a bumpy start, but it's a start nonetheless. The first cold snap is on the way, though, so we are bracing ourselves for that, and we're going to see our very first colonists, very likely, by the end of this episode. Hello, Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Surviving Mars Green Planet in our brand new Red Winter series. So we are starting episode 5. We had a little bit of a hiccup last episode because I was talking about how you can use universal depots as lily pads, really, for resources if you set the desired amount down to 0, and that mechanic proceeded not to work the way that I was describing it working. I don't know if I was misremembering or if something was changed, but essentially what we're having to do now is ensure that we have all the resources in place to get the dome up and running as soon as possible. So I've just set these universal depots back to a desired amount of 5. Yes, all of them, as a matter of fact. And we need concrete, metals, and polymers at, let's see, yeah, we need 10 here. And I've told the game that I want every possible resource type here, but as I've mentioned, getting supply chain set up in the early game can be a little bit frustrating. Let's see, we have an available prefab there, so I'll go ahead and queue that up. I think one of the issues might be that we sent off a number of drones with the mission that's currently headed to Project Oracle. Once that rocket lands again, we'll have a little bit of an easier time, I think, I hope, perhaps. Maybe, with getting these resources moved around. But we are getting this dome set up as soon as we can. You can see that these drones are moving some of the required resources around now, so things are finally kind of coming back to life a little bit. It's nice to see. And these guys should start going to pick stuff up as soon as it becomes available. There we go. All right, new techs are available for research. So because we have looked into... Okay, I'm going to skip that because we've heard it already. And it's interrupted me more than once. These are the technologies we've unlocked. We have deep scanning. God, so many options. All right, soil adaptation is still what we're researching now. I think I kind of just want to go with the technologies I currently have queued in order. But one of the funny things is that I have 3 biotechs in the queue. Maybe water reclamation needs to wait a little bit. Drones and rovers moving 20% faster means more efficient colony management. Oh, have we not done this yet? I guess we haven't. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that at the top. Autonomous sensors. That's going to be one less drain on, is it electronics maintenance that they eat up? I think it's 1 electronics maintenance. Oh no, it's just metal. Okay, well in that case, that's not as threatening. Yes, I want that technology, but maybe what I'll do is I'll put Mars crowdfunding at the very top. How about that? Because some additional monies would come in pretty handy, I think. All right, so our RC Explorer has returned, and we do have a breakthrough anomaly up here. Looks like we have found some additional water. It's a very low-grade deposit, but I was right. We have found more water up in this area. Cold wave will arrive in 10 hours, thankfully. Or not thankfully. We'll see how well this goes. Okay, so let's have our rocket re-land. And is there additional metal anywhere? None to be found. So we're in a bit of a precarious situation with not having planet-side metal. You can see the supply chain working in our favor now. It's just a matter of getting all of the resources over to the basic dome. And they're just slowly but surely transporting stuff as quickly as they can. I could set the desired amounts up a little bit higher. Anomaly analyzed.
The RC Explorer investigating the anomaly accidentally released a pocket of high-pressure gas.
Oh, well, that's lovely. All right, let's pause. So that's actually quite near our current location for our very first dome, so hopefully that doesn't cause a problem in the future. Now, can I send you elsewhere? I think there's one more project I could potentially send you on. Hang on, we have the capture meteors. Oh, yeah, that's right. So this could bring down metals, rare metals, and anomalies. It requires 60 fuel to do. That's kind of tempting, though. That's not. I don't have those resources available to me. Let's go ahead and send that expedition. It's not going to require any additional rockets, and we have lots of fuel. So why not go ahead and do it? And just to make sure I can produce some additional fuel. Okay, here's the cold wave. Let's turn on our subsurface heater. All right, so we are automatically burning through power a lot faster. Now we have, looks like the cold wave is going to last for another 2 sols and 5 hours. Wow. Yeah, that's really quickly generating additional demands on our power supply. But I can build a few more. How many more can I build? Let's take a look. I think I can squeeze in 2 more solar panels here that aren't in range of the rocket. Yeah, that won't get dusted. That's fine. And then I can do 1 more wind turbine. I can do a couple more wind turbines too, as a matter of fact. So let's go ahead and just double our power production. And that might help offset the situation. It will mean that we'll have more machine part maintenance, but again, I'm just trying to incrementally handle the power situation as best we can. So this is our very first cold wave. That's the one spot that we have thawed.
Sector scanned.
All right, excellent. Let's get the polymer blades going on both of these. Should have just done a control click there. Okay, so it looks like we found an anomaly, but it's all the way down there. Weirdly. So we're not sure where that meteor shower is going to land, but it will shower us with additional metals, potentially rare metals, and polymers as well. And I'm hoping for some metals back here once we're done scanning. These sectors are a little bit farther off from our sensor tower, so it's taking longer for them to finish. As you might have noticed, the reason for that, again, is that they are a good ways off from these. I could change that, actually. Come to think of it, I could change it quite easily by building 2 more out here. Now, in order for that to work, though, one thing I'm going to have to do is open this up to electronics. I really don't want to do that, but I think for the time being, since we're scanning up in that area, I'm going to need some additional sensor towers. So let's get those done. 1 sol and 12 hours remaining. We have plenty of power stored, so it looks like we're mostly surviving this. Especially once the sun rises and these solar panels kick back in. We seem to be doing all right. The water, as you can see, both of these are completely full, so the water tanks are doing well. And of course, they're staying thawed, which I wanted. I could start... I mentioned in the first episode that there was something kind of cool about my choice of this colony location. So I'll go ahead and show you, since I've kept you in suspense long enough. You can terraform now, including building ramps. And that allows you to very quickly find your way down into regions like this. Let's see. So we can resize it to where, first of all, you have to start a ramp location at a good spot. So I think that's actually a really good spot. And then notice, see, it just automatically builds a ramp down into that region and will allow us to explore down there a lot more easily without building tunnels. It's an amazing change to surviving Mars. Let's see. Now I want to keep you as small as possible. So this is going to require a lot of waste rock, but I have enough waste rock to do it. 114.3. Do it. All right, so we've given the order, and some of those drones are going to go crazy getting that ready. They have to clear the site, and then some drones are going to have to bring in waste rock. But that's perfect because we have to get rid of the stuff anyway. All right, notice we actually have a power surplus at the moment, which is quite nice in the middle of a cold snap. It's going to be a little dicier when this happens when there are colonists on the surface. Okay, we're starting to see resources come in. We just need 10 more metals and a lot more concrete. One thing I can do to speed this up a bit. I can tell this guy to load up some concrete in order to speed this process up. So we don't have to wait on the supply chain for the entire thing. Okay. And you're now going to unload over here. Cold Snap has 1 sol remaining. Sol. I use both pronunciation variations. Sol is the technically correct one. I can't for the life of me remember where I've heard the pronunciation sol system used. I feel like it was in at least one prominent sci-fi, but I can't recall. And it might have just been a mispronunciation, but I feel like it's a significant enough sci-fi that it's understandable for me to know the pronunciation both ways. But it is technically sol. Okay, so yeah. We have had a good amount of concrete brought in here, which is good. It looks like we still need more, though. So why don't you go ahead and bring more, please? Because I want that dome built. The nice thing about this cold wave happening now is that we're going to be summoning our first colonists right around the time the first dome finishes construction, which is great. Looks like the electronics are in place. It's mainly metals that I don't have at the moment. Got another one of those fissures right here. Colony investment. Your attention is required. Slash it, spread it, prioritize, then start all over again. No matter how much you bang your head against the wall, the budget charts don't start to make sense. We are severely overstretched. What are they thinking? Do they think colonizing Mars is a walk in the... Then the call comes in. The missions board has decided to bail us out after catching wind of your financial woes, and not a moment too soon, you give out a sigh of relief. So, we're not the Blue Sun Corporation, so we can't get $2 billion instantly, but we can get $500 million instantly. Or we can go with more sponsor research, which last time I went with extra funding. I'm going to go with extra funding again, just because money is everything in the early game. It really is. And I just want to stick with that strategy for now. All right, let's unload the concrete here, and this dome should be ready to go. We just need the metals, really. You can see the supply chain working quite well, though.
Sector scanned.
Nice, I see metal. All right, so there is metal and another rare metal deposit up here as well. That's good news. Not a lot. It's just 487, but hey, that's money. So I'll take it. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do as well is build a landing pad out here. All right, that's uneven terrain, but that can be fixed. That can all be fixed by my new terraforming landscaping tools. So let's, first of all, resize this. I want everything to be as flat as this. There we go. So that's going to generate some waste rock, as a matter of fact. So one thing I'll do is place a large dumping site right there. Starting to get my groove back a little bit. The supply chain issue is still frustrating, but it is what it is. I guess we'll put it... Yeah, Not the best location, but we'll put it right there. All right, so he brought that in. Let's go ahead and get that metal. Yeah. Copious amounts of metal up here. We're going to actually bring it. Oh, that's right. You can't zoom out. That's one thing that's another small thing. Okay, the cold wave ended. Nice. That's another small thing I hope they fix, is that when you're trying to very quickly jump from one spot of a colony to another when you're setting up a transport route, if you zoom all the way out to the map screen, it cancels the fact that you're setting up a transport route. Catches me off guard all the time. All right, cold wave has ended, which means we're going to shut off the subsurface heater. And we now have more power than we know what to do with, but that's okay, because in a second, we're going to have a running dome. We still have to build some stuff inside the dome. Are you done yet? All right, the dome is going up as we speak. Come on, guys, finish up. I guess part of the thing is they're getting the dome up and running, so.
Research complete.
All right, Mars crowdfunding has finished researching, so that's really, really good news. We just got some additional funding in. I'm going to go ahead and outsource once more. We can't use the full billion because we've already outsourced a little bit, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. Now that's giving us a lot more research per soil adaptation will allow us to build farms in our new dome. Domes without life support. Oh no, don't tell me it's still doing this. Oh no. Oh no, never mind. We're good. It's just I don't have a Moxie set up yet. In the last build of Surviving Mars, there was a bug with power and just anything being transmitted through the tunnels. And for a second, I was like, no, I thought they would have fixed it for the patch. But it seems they did. All right, so we need an oxygen producer and then an oxygen tank, which we'll set on the other side of the producer. Let's go ahead and prioritize this. The dome does not... I mean, power-wise, we're actually okay right now.
Resources are low.
I know. Of course, oxygen is low. We don't have any oxygen to speak of. Okay, so let's take a moment to think about what we need to build in here. One of these is definitely going to be a hydroponics farm, or not a hydroponics farm, but a farm. Certainly a hydroponics farm. But let's put you there. We'll need to leave a space for a passageway for additional domes in this area. Let's see. Yes, that's right. We have apartments. So I'll go ahead and put those over here. And there are our visual variants. So let's use those as our very first living spaces. We don't need more than that for the time being. Again, I'm not going to worry about a school right now. However, a playground and nursery are certainly welcome additions to the colony. Just in case there are kids born. And then what we'll do is right next to the playground and nursery, we will build... Actually, wait. No. Come on now. Let's put the playground back here. And then we will have a garden right there. A little bit of green space. And then we need a research lab. Can't wait to have that running with the initial colonists. We need a rare metals extractor, so that's going to require maintenance of machine parts. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Requires a deposit. Yes, I know. That's why we're putting it near the deposit. Let's put it there. Yep, gonna have to start telling these guys to just bring everything. Fuel, not just yet. Okay. It's officially on. We will need a polymer factory as well. We might not build it just yet, maybe until additional work is required. Well, I'll go ahead and build that there. And then there's a small machine parts factory, which I will certainly put into place. Again, we need to think about where we might connect this to domes in the future, so let's put the machine parts factory there.
Milestone achieved.
Nice! So we've completed a special project, and we gained 500 research for that. We have a meteor storm incoming. Question is, where? All right, looks like it's down there. That's fine by me. Let's continue looking at what we can build. All right, so we've got a hydroponics farm set up already. We can go ahead and set up a ranch, but I'm not going to do that in the first dome. All right, so we've got apartments, we've got a nursery and playground, not a school yet. We do have a research lab set up. Okay. A small space bar is going to need to be set up. Yes, love the tongue-in-cheek joke. Get it? Get it? Space bar? Right? It's amazing. Of course it is. Okay, and then a grocer as well, so that people have a place to buy their food. So we've got a kind of food-centric area here. We will have a farm district set up. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have a farm set up here, and then our passageway will leave from behind there. So anything else in the initial construction? Perhaps another, like a pond? Okay, let's do a pond. Okay, and that's it. That's it. That's plenty to build. It's going to take a while for that to go up. But actually, come to think of it, there's one more thing I need to build. And that is a landing pad. I'm going to put that right there since we flattened that out. Soil adaptation has been finished, which means I can go ahead and queue up that farm as well. Perfect. We might be able to do more back here before long. Oh, yep, of course, there's one more building I'm forgetting. A rather important one at that. The Infirmary. And then I can build... Let's do a statue here. We'll make it the rocket statue. Make that initial dome a little bit homier for folks. So... we might be able to go ahead and summon our first colonists down, but I kind of want to make sure that at least some of these buildings are up and running. We see the prefab here has already been put up. The hydroponic farm has already been put up. Okay, so some additional metals have been brought in from up here, I believe. Are there more? Yeah, there's still more. Looks like we found more. Very nice. So, create transport route, load, resource, metals, and yeah, why don't you bring them here? If they need to go elsewhere, the drones will take them elsewhere. But, all right, so Dragon number 1 is back. All right, so we've succeeded in capturing and diverting meteors toward our general vicinity in a gambit to bring precious resources and even scientific insight within our reach. Within our reach. All right. By the way, you can see that this is coming along. The ramp is slowly filling that space. Once that's done, we'll be able to go down and research that anomaly without building a tunnel. It's really quite nice. Can I outsource again? Not quite yet. But I will be able to before long-ish. Okay, so we no longer have a life support issue, as you can see here. The Polymer Factory has been placed. We just need our first... Tell you what. Oh, nice. So these apartments are almost ready, which actually means, technically, it's time for the colonists to come on down. I just need the concrete for that landing pad. Let's go ahead and launch Dragon number 1. We found a new anomaly, it seems. Or is that the one we found before? No, it's not a new one. Or it is a new one. It's not the one we found before. So, yes, it is a new one. All right.
Research complete.
Magnetic filtering is done. Good. That'll actually help with the building that I just built. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Producing additional oxygen for me. And now, of course, we are finally researching our first terraforming technology. I will queue up Greenhouse Mars as well to experiment with that, as I mentioned a little while back. Let's go ahead and eliminate autonomous. Let's get rid of that tech. That option needs to not be waiting on me anymore. And then I think we need to go ahead and get that low cost. One of the important strategies you need to follow in surviving Mars is not letting low cost technologies sit unresearched for too long, because they're low cost. They happen relatively quickly, right? But hang on, let's outsource a little bit there. But if you don't research them, that's an additional option at the bottom that you don't get. And you never know when the random options are going to give you something really nice. So just bear that in mind a lot. As much as you can, bear that in mind. All right, so we're bringing in metal from that new deposit I found. The rare metals extractor is not working yet. All right, so the last polymer is going into place for the apartments. Excellent. I just need concrete for that landing pad, and we're going to bring our first colonists down. We're going to do it. And didn't I already... Yes, I've already researched live from Mars, so we have a very nice opening applicant pool. I'll be showing you that momentarily, which means we're going to have a really good initial group relative to what you might get in other playthroughs. So we have some concrete that's being brought in to help build the stuff in the actual dome. Some concrete is being brought directly to the landing pad. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I bet this one's coming to the landing pad. Yep. One more. Uno mas, guys. Let this one be it. I want to bring my colonists down. It's a little bit of a cramped space, and I'm maybe a little bit concerned about dust from the landings here, particularly affecting the Moxie. But we'll try and roll with it. It's our first dome, so it's, it's expected that things will be a little bit rough around the edges, so to speak. All right. That's it. So, passenger rocket. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our filters, and we want to say that we don't want seniors, and we don't even want middle-aged folks. We want young and adult colonists, first of all. The next thing we want is specializations. We want to encourage people to be scientists, geologists. So geologists will help extract things. Engineers will help work in factories. They'll produce machine parts. And botanists. So we want to encourage this general group. Medics come in handy. I mean, let's go ahead and apply that. See, this is a good initial spread. It's bringing in 12 colonists to land, and we're going to have 3 botanists, 3 engineers, 3 geologists, and 3 scientists. Hang on. Let me go ahead and say medic. It's still not bringing in a medic, so with that in mind, I'll go ahead and turn that off. Now, the downside for this is that there's a penalty when someone works a particular job that doesn't match their specialty. So that's one thing to consider. All right, perks. We don't have any celebrities. We don't have any geniuses. That's sad. You can see that the game is already automatically encouraging those because you want those. Those are like some of the best that you can get. All right, so we've saved those filters. Flaws is where you really want to go to town when you're first arranging colonists. And because we have such a good selection, look at this. We still have 23 matching applicants. And it didn't change our spread too much. So we have no flaws in our initial colonists. Let's go ahead and launch. They are on their way down. It's going to take a moment for them to arrive, of course, but I'll wait. The meteor storm has been going crazy down here, so there's probably a lot of resources to be discovered. No resources there. I'm going to go ahead and remove those from the queue because I feel like it's more important to have these scanned up here. Or down here, I suppose I should say. Is the ramp done yet? Oh, the ramp is done. Very good, which means I can go ahead and send, while we're waiting on our first colonists, I can send our Sea Explorer down the ramp. He is on the way. Look at that. There's a part of me that does want all of this to fill up with water. That would be really cool. Once they have fluid dynamics in the game, and I expect that they will at some point in the future. I feel like that's in the same way that people cried out for a terraforming process, having fluid dynamics like in city skylines, I feel like is a natural evolution of the current systems. I love the current systems as they are. I think they're great. But, when you have something like this, that just begs for a giant Martian lake, It's the principle of the thing. All right, so these icons are just telling me that there are no workers available in those buildings, and I'm well aware of that. Our passenger rocket is ready to land. Moment of truth. Let's go ahead and slow things down to speed 1. Meanwhile, we're still getting some of the other buildings in the dome finished up. You can see the shadow of the rocket. Momentous occasion. First human colonists about to step off the rocket and onto Mars. A little bit too close for comfort there, drone. And here they come. So let's meet our colonists. A new beginning.
Determination. The first founders have set foot on the red planet.
The next 10 souls will be full of difficulties and dangers, but also with great promises and opportunities. It is now to us to prove that Mars can be a doorway to greater riches in the future of the human civilization. Even the most epic adventures begin with a single step. Arrival of additional colonists temporarily suspended until the colony proves able to sustain human life. Your founder colonists must survive for 10 souls before additional people can arrive. The colony will be evaluated positively before the period ends in the event the first human is born on Mars. If you feel you're up to the challenge, try constructing a medical building and raising the comfort of the founders as much as possible with service buildings. So, we've already queued all of that up. Our colonists are hopping off the rocket. As soon as they hit the ground here, we'll be able to select them and learn about them. So Carmen Cassidy was on board Helios number 1. So she is a botanist, founder, nerd, and rugged. We have Pearl Hudson, founder, religious, and sexy. Good that we have some sexy colonists because we want to make sure. I should have set that as a preferred perk, but that ensures that some of the existing colonists in this founder group will be trying to bump uglies and make some babies. So, all right, founder and rugged. So this is Clinton Grant, Martin Andreeve. He is composed and a founder. Ciara Anderson, founder, a gamer and rugged. George Daniel, or George's Daniel, however you want to pronounce it. It's enthusiast. He's an enthusiast and a founder. Ayana Griffin is fit, a founder, and she's vegan, which finally has a function, by the way. It's no longer just a trolling tooltip that says, don't worry, they'll tell you, which was hilarious, but never served a function. But now that there are livestock, vegans actually have a point. All right, so Isla Anderson, she is also sexy founder. Of course, someone named Isla is sexy. Reminds me of freaking Chrono Trigger. Delbert Kent, party animal, founder, and rugged. Irma Jamal, enthusiast, founder, and sexy. Okay. Founder, survivor, so Donna Hudson. And then finally, Clementine Hudson. It's a workaholic. So our first colonists stepping through to hang out in their new apartments. Yes, I know that was the sound of a baby crying. That wasn't actually a baby crying. It's baby crying. It's an ambient sound effect from these lovely buildings here. But on that note, I will go ahead and stop this episode here. Crop failure. Of course there's been a crop failure. There's nothing set up yet. I'll stop this one here. In the next one, we have a lot of work to do with getting everything up and running here. Also, let me make sure that I have power. There we go. There's that. So we're waiting for fuel to resume working here. Oh, really? So I will need fuel for the Polymer Factory. Forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. So let's go ahead and queue all that up, which means that there was really no point to microing any of that. We need all of those resources moved across this expanse. And again, once we have shuttles, things will be a little bit easier. But this episode is way over time. I'm going to stop this one here. Again, in the next one, we are going to make sure these colonists kind of get their feet under them. We're going to get them producing some food. They already brought some food down with them, as you can see there. So that's going to help them for a little while. We also just finished the Martian vegetation research project. So hang on. Yes, so that's our first terraforming tech, and we can use that to start turning the surface of Mars green. We can't do it just yet because the soil is not particularly good, but we can start doing some terraforming related things in the coming episodes, particularly once we finish researching Greenhouse Mars. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.